Taiwan is a country about the size of Switzerland. With a population of 23 million people, it's got the tallest mountains in the region, coral reefs, sea turtles, and the original bubble tea. Taiwan is also making 90% of the hardware used in today's AI boom. So how did Taiwan become the hardware hero of the world? Let's break it down. Hey, it's Emily Wu, and this is The Breakdown, where we explore big questions from Taiwan. Fact: Taiwan produces 90% of the hardware in the global AI industry. That's right, the infrastructure housing your ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude is being made right here, not to be confused with the other 90%, which is how much of the world's most advanced semiconductor chips are made by Taiwanese companies. For that, head over to the other episode for a breakdown on that. Let's come back to hardware. So, how did Taiwan become the world's supplier of AI hardware? Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. When Taiwan was transitioning from an agricultural society to an industrialized nation, it found success in manufacturing. It made a lot of stuff: toys, textiles, shoes, Christmas decorations. Talk to your grandparents and they'll tell you everything back then was made in Taiwan. Then came a crisis. Competition. Right across the water from Taiwan was a market with a much bigger population, much cheaper labor, and a manufacturing machine of its own that was just getting started. So Taiwan decided to pivot.
Well, it started from an accident. Back in the late 1970s, there were a group of very wild or very grassroots entrepreneurs. They basically saw the trend of the rise of the arcade game, starting from the United States first, then moved to Japan. And in the professional term, they did the reverse engineering. Coincidentally, in 1981, IBM released its first PC. So again, for those entrepreneurs in Taiwan, they opened up the IBM PC and they studied the components and basically try to replicate the same thing.
Computers were getting smaller and more common, and everyone dreamt of owning one at home.
For those grassroots, since they did not get the attention or any funding from the government, so they evolved very quickly, otherwise they would die. Every year you need to come up with a new version. So with that kind of speed and flexibility, Taiwan suppliers start to take advantage over other competitors.
Companies wanted to create and design the best PCs ever. Smaller shell, bigger hard drive, faster processor, give it a keyboard, make it portable. There were lots of designs, a lot of designers. They all needed someone to handle the hardware. And that's where Taiwan came in.
In 1993, the biggest PC brand back then was Compaq. They decided to do something that surprised all the industry. They not only bought the components, parts from Taiwan, they also subcontracted the whole assembly to Taiwan. That has become a big success for Compaq. So other competitors has to follow suit, otherwise you will not survive.
Taiwan quickly became the place where major tech companies came to turn designs into products. Today, there's a good chance that your smartphone or your laptop was made by a Taiwanese company like Foxconn, Wistron, or Quanta.
大家都知道，2007年 iPhone 第一款推出。那在那之前呢，鸿海帮当时的 Motorola 代工 Razr，Steve Jobs 看到很惊艳，所以他就找了郭台铭去。他说你要做超薄，然后而且是防刮的萤幕，而且还要没有螺丝的设计。那郭台铭那时候第一句话就回应 Steve Jobs 说：“这不可能。” Steve Jobs 就跟他说：“你回去试试看嘛，怎么马上就说不可能？”他们花了8个月的时间，他们当时几乎很多人都没有睡觉，他们真的把它做出来了。
Global tech brands started trusting Taiwanese companies with more than just manufacturing. Taiwan was now taking on crazy ideas, figuring out the designs, and also building them. This is called ODM, Original Design Manufacture, different from OEM, the former business model, original equipment manufacturer.
So the original idea still came from these US key players like HP, Compaq, Dell, IBM, but they only had the idea and the very initial kind of design. And the Taiwan manufacturers helped them and work with them to kind of fine-tune to make it, mass production possible.
There is no place like Taiwan. I sometimes joke that you can have an idea at breakfast, you can have a prototype by lunch, and you can have manufacturing by dinner.
That brings us to today. The world is in the midst of the next seismic shift in technological advancement, AI. AI is playing a part in many aspects of our lives. But all of that AI computing and processing, it needs the motherboard, the power system, the servers, the liquid cooling, and rows of racks inside data centers. It's a massive physical build-out. And Taiwanese companies, already the best at tech manufacturing, are perfectly positioned to convert their assembly lines to build the physical hardware for AI.
因为台湾从 PC 就奠定了这个基础，比如说散热好了，在 PC 也有散热，可是那时候可能是小电扇气冷的散热，可是到 AI server 它开始在用液冷。
Our most cutting-edge AI chips generate up to nearly 2,000 watts of heat. Now, liquid cooling has been something we've worked on for more than 10 years. It's really been brought to the table as the only viable solution right now. If we look at global tech supply chain, Taiwan has the most mature, the most readily available supply chain.
以前我采访过很多那个散热的这个行业的人，他们以前从来不觉得液冷可以实现，可是，在那个黄仁勋的这样的催促之下，那本来他们觉得10年才做得出来的技术，3年就推出了。
We have so many partners here in Taiwan. NVIDIA won't be possible without Taiwan.
Right now, the US company NVIDIA is the leader in AI computing. Their founder and CEO is Jensen Huang. It's February 2026, and Jensen Huang is back in Taiwan. He sat down with Foxconn, Quanta, Wistron, Inventec, Taiwanese hardware companies that the AI boom cannot function without. Taiwan's companies were present, and they've been here since the beginning.
2016年8月，在旧金山，那个 ChatGPT 开始爆发的之前的6年，黄仁勋带着他开发出来的一台超级电脑，其实就是 AI server，去找 Elon Musk， 把这个机台送给 Elon 跟 OpenAI 的 team， 而且他那个时候合作的对象，事实上就是台湾的云达。
It takes vision to create something that's so ahead of our time. Taiwan has been the partner that takes your vision and makes it into reality.
因为台湾找到一个定位，这个定位是别人不会想要做的。台湾只是扮演一个幕后角色，然后服务别人。但是台湾走向这条路，然后又做得非常的好，所以它就变得无可取代。全世界所有重要的 idea、重要的想法，都要来台湾找到能够落地、能够实现的一个机会。
AI may feel invisible. It's a chatbot, a search result, a voice from the cloud, but it's surrounded by hardware. That's Taiwan's specialty. Not just one company, not just one chip, but the entire ecosystem. So the next time you buy a device, even if it doesn't say made in Taiwan, you'll know there's a good chance it passed through this place that's quietly helping to power the modern world.